Hi, I'm CJ Elmberg at Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. We have got a 2-horse bumper pull for a warm blood size horse. So this one here is a 2026 Cimarron Norstar, the warm blood model, 2-horse straight load. This thing's got a lot of extras on it. This one's a really popular seller for us. In fact, we just kind of were like, yeah, let's try one. And then all of a sudden we got to sit there and go, okay, we need like 4 or 5 of these on hand, on order at all times, because they just continue to sell and people are really excited about them and just love the ability and all the flexibility they have with this trailer. So it's not just your standard 2-horse straight load. Let's go ahead and take a look at the drawing, because I want to show you some of the dimensions on the trailer itself. It's 18.3 as far as the nose to the back of the box. You're going to end up with a 3-foot, tongue on it. This one here is 7'7" tall, so it is that extra tall height. The standard width 6'10" wide. Now, probably as we've started this, you've noticed the side ramp on this guy. We'll talk about that. We'll show you that cool feature. But let's start walking you through the trailer itself. With it being a Cimarron, you're all aluminum construction. You're going to have an 8-year structure warranty, a 3-year hardware warranty, a 1-year no questions asked warranty on the tires. So they really stand behind the product. Okay, when we get up here to the front of this guy, we'll just start here at the hitch. So we have a 2 5/16 coupler on this guy. It's the Bulldog setup on this one. Has the manual crank jack. You have all your safety chains, your breakaway, everything as far as, obviously meeting requirements there. We went ahead and put the foot on the actual jack leg in this instance. And the reason why is we're dealing with, on the asphalt here, it gets windy at times. Wheels are handy from the standpoint of having the ability to, kind of manipulate the trailer when you're backing up to it, getting it set on the ball. But in this instance here, especially when it gets really hot on this asphalt, if it's just the leg, it'll sink down. So we like the foot here. If you want to go with the wheel, we could get you hooked up with the parts department and they could get you that. You're going to notice the diamond plate, rock guard down at the bottom there. Then from there up, this is a white sheeted trailer, and then you're going to get the polished stainless nose. So white is standard. If you want to upgrade, silver metallic, charcoal metallic, black, custom colors, all that can be done. White is standard. That is the more popular option on this. On this front tack room, you're going to notice on the nose here that you have a window on driver's side, and then I've got the door open to the tack room, and it's got a window there, so you can get a lot of airflow through there when you're throwing saddles, blankets, pads, those type of items in there where you get that, sweaty smell in there. It's nice to be able to air that out. But in this instance here, we have this front tack room on this guy. So we put it on the nose. You're going to notice that we have a fold-up step. So it's really easy getting in and out of this when you're carrying your saddles, carrying your tack. If you've got totes, those type of items, you got them in your hand. From where I'm standing in this bottom frame, that is a big step. It's so nice to be able to break it up by having this fold-up step. It's on a gas shock, so it's really easy. But it makes this transition going in and out of the tack room so easy and nice. On the door, you're going to have a brush tray, smaller miscellaneous items. If you want to add like a door organizer, you want to do another brush tray, those type of items could be added on after the fact. But then as we come into the tack room here, we've got rubber on the floor. And you're going to notice this wall's got a little bit of an offset. It's not a straight wall. This is a 1-foot offset as far as this partition wall that we're looking at. And there's a reasoning why, and we'll talk more about that when we get to the stall area, the side ramp, that part of it. But in here, really nice size front tack room, really easy to, work around it, have a lot of floor space for additional storage. You're going to have some hooks over here towards the door. We try to kind of force those towards the door because sometimes you just need to reach in and grab them and go. So these are aluminum powder coated, so you have a lower section and an upper section, and then there's carpet behind them as well. So we're not actually getting everything rubbing against the actual aluminum as we drive. You'll get that quarter moon kind of shape to it. We see that on trades all the time. This is really going to protect everything as far as that's concerned. And then on the partition wall, you're actually going to have a big window so we can actually look into the stall area. So if you're traveling, it's nice to be able to just kind of stop, poke your head in here. You can check on your horses from right here, not actually have to climb in the trailer itself. Over here on the driver's side, we're going to have a recessed post. So that post is built into the sidewall of the trailer. We have 2 blanket poles, 2 saddle racks. These are all adjustable. You just loosen the nut, slide it where you want. You can slide them out of the top, change sequencing, completely remove them, or if you want to add more, you can. It's really easy to do there. Spare tires located behind me there on the driver's side of the nose. It's going to match what's on the ground, so it's not like you're getting the aluminum wheels on the ground and a steel wheel in here. Up on the ceiling, you're going to have a clothes bar. So if you need to hang some clothes, garment bags, those type of items, they're not taking up space in your tow vehicle, you can easily hang them. If you're showing off of this trailer, you can just hop in, maybe change into a show shirt, and out you go. There is an LED light right inside here. So a big OptiBright light for this size tack room, that guy is more than adequate. That puts out so much light, not a big power draw with it being that LED. And then the light switches we actually put right inside the door. Same thing, really easy to access. Now we did 2 of them right here. You're gonna notice there's 2 switches. Well, one of them is gonna operate this light in the tack room, and the other one's gonna operate the load light right above it. We've been adding this light to this setup because, well, this door is on the nose, where our load lights on the side of the trailer really don't do us any good here. So we went ahead and added these switches right inside the actual tack door, so you have plenty of light when you're working on and off the trailer itself. Again, fold up step, gas shock, really easy to operate, and just flip it up. Now, the side ramp. This is what makes this trailer so cool. Okay, this is a straight load bumper pull with the side ramp, so we can walk on, walk off horses. Now, if you start now paying attention to that slant wall, that partition wall there, the reasoning why is we just needed one to accommodate the side ramp, the size of it, and also allow for horses to turn and make this corner. So that is a 1 foot offset. Typically a standard offset is 4 foot. This one here is 1 foot. So again, you have the side ramp to walk on and off. Load light right above the ramp itself. So again, we have a light on the outside here on this side of the trailer. Again, we put that other one on the nose, but it's going to shoot down and out for you. And then you're going to have your Dutch door that closes above our side ramp. Now it's got a big bus window in it as well, so we can again create airflow. You know, we don't necessarily have a drop window on this side, but let's get some air. You know, as we're going in a forward motion, that air catches and goes in. Well, it's going to want to travel back towards the horses. So nice big bus window in that Dutch door there. As you can see, it swings and secures out of the way, so you don't have to worry about holding it when you're offloading it, swinging around, wind catching it, anything like that. You can actually lock it right there with this latch. As you can see on both these Dutch doors here, the ramps, the front tacks, the rear, everything has the exact same key, so it's really easy to lock these trailers up. But in this instance, again, you can lock it and secure it back, so again, you're not having to hold it. Behind it, you'll get a better look at it when we get to the driver's side, but there's a big, massive bus window over the back and the hip of the horses behind there. So again, creating airflow, keeping horses nice and comfortable. You get your side extrusion that Cimarron has, really, you know, stoutens up the trailer rather than just a aluminum sheet there. You got some exterior tie hooks. And then from there, we're going to transition down into the axles. So we have two 5,200 pound Dexter rubber torsion axles, electric brakes on this, so the tow vehicle will have to have an integrated brake controller or an aftermarket. If you need help with the aftermarket, we can help you out with that. On this guy here, since we get up into the 5,200 pound axles, it allows us to get into more of a 16-inch wheel, a good 10-ply tire. It's not like a 15-inch tire with like an 8-ply. So, you know, definitely better tires underneath this trailer itself. These are Goodyears. I mentioned you have a 1-year no questions asked warranty. From the date you purchase this Cimarron, you will have 1 year of tire coverage, whether it's catching road debris, a blowout, you even catch a nail that punctures the sidewall of the tire that can't be patched, they will replace it, no questions asked, for the first year. That is not through Cimarron, that's through their vendor Lion's Head, so we can help you out with that process there. But definitely nice to have that coverage as well. Now, these are the black wheels with the silver accent. I think it works really well with the extrusion. You have the door frames, the window frames, everything's black there, so I think it ties in extremely well with just the aesthetics of the trailer itself. Now this trailer weighs 4,000 pounds empty, so more than enough running gear underneath it. But then that allows you, with all these new half tons, you know, a lot of SUVs out there, you need to understand your towing capacity of your tow vehicle, but that's your empty weight on the trailer. So we see a ton of, you know, new half tons come in here and hook onto these trailers and roll out of here. They have more than enough truck for it, for this setup. You notice the Dutch doors at the back. They were wrapped around to the side as well. They have these wraparound style hinges. So it wraps around and secures to the side of the trailer. The backs here, you are totally fine if you want to run with those guys open. You just want to make sure, again, that they're secure into those latches. If you really want to, you can even lock them to make sure they're secure. But there is windows in the back Dutch doors as well. So if you want to close it up a little bit, but still get that airflow, again, by having the windows in the back, air is looking for a way out, especially when we're traveling at higher speeds. So you can kind of create that vacuum to where, again, that wind will actually go over the horse themselves, keeping them, again, nice and cool. But then you've got your rear ramp on this guy. So it's a rear ramp with the Dutch doors over it. So this trailer gets to be really versatile when we start looking at this, because, you know, here in a minute I'll show you another really cool feature. But, you know, if your horse prefers a rear ramp, there it is. Look, if you want to haul some toys, you need to haul some furniture, you just need, you know, a flexible trailer, this guy is it, because that rear ramp is already there. So whether you're carrying stuff in, loading horses, you know, loading a toy, unloading a toy, you've got this capability when we actually go into this stall area here. Before we get in there, on the top rail, you're going to notice that there's another load light up there. There's an 8-inch load light there. And then on your tail lights, you're going to notice a white X. That's a backup light. So when you throw your tow vehicle in reverse, you know, usually those backup lights are kind of worthless. You know, depending on length of the trailer kind of blocks them. These guys here are built in, so you actually have a reverse light already built in to this setup on all the marker lights. All the switches are right here. They're really convenient, and then they're all on individual switches. So I can turn on each side, the rear, and then stalls. But if I want to just isolate some lights, I can do that. Now, as we come into the stall area, a couple things I'm going to show you. Over here, we understand that you're putting big horses on this. So if you look at this butt bar here, this butt bar is 49 inches off the floor. And then the chest bar is 46 inches off the floor. We actually had some customers come in with, now it was a 6-horse head-to-head, but what we noticed is they had a big, massive horse, and he almost sat on one of these guys. You can see a little bit of a bow to the actual bar itself, and we go, holy cow, that guy was, I mean, he was sitting on it. And we measured it, and it was at 43 inches off the floor. Well, then we went around and looked at all of our standard trailers. Everything's 43 inches off the floor. Well, these are big horses. We need to accommodate them. So we looked at it and said, okay, our straight loads, we're going to put our butt bar at 49 inches. It's going to be more of where this ramp comes up and those Dutch doors meet, kind of in that area. And then we set the chest bar at 46, because again, we're dealing with larger horses. So we've done that on our straight loads. This guy is set up that way. As you can see, butt bar with pads, chest bar with pads, and then we've got a feeder up here as well. So we've got all the D-rings with the feeder on there. There's actually it might be kind of hard to see, but there's this little lock that's built in here. This is that heavy UHMW plastic. But this lock allows this bar to not come out when it's in the down position. So if you have somebody that likes to play with maybe this padding, is constantly tinkering with it, and eventually gets these guys to pop out, well, then you're dealing with the chest bar down and not secure where it needs to be. But we'll get it out of the way, because I want to show you this here in a second. So as you can see, we've got this big divider here. It's a full stud divider. It's squared off. So what's really nice is with that stud divider part of it, you know, we don't have to worry about anybody stepping on each other, trying to kick each other. You know, it's going to secure them and separate them a little bit more. Pads on the divider itself, and then we have all these jail bars. So airflow, jail bars up above, and then even on the head grill, it's jail bars as well. In fact, I can kind of show you. I'll just swing it to the side and see here. There it is. I can unpin it from the ceiling. And why that is important is, for one, we can offload our passenger side horse first. Well, then we have this section where this driver side horse has got to try to make this turn and get out of the trailer. Well, I can actually swing the head grill out of the way. I can actually secure it up into the ceiling. So again, it's secure. We don't have to worry about holding it. And then we can walk that horse off. That's where that 1 foot offset and the angle of this comes into play as far as loading and unloading, especially your walk on, walk off type scenarios. Now, this is where this even gets more unique and more versatile as far as this trailer is concerned. So a lot of times on these dividers here in this type of setup, you notice you can unpin them and you can move them over to the wall, you can move them out of the trailer. Well, it's a 2-person job just because it's the sheer size of it. Well, then what if you're traveling somewhere where you need a box stall, but then, boy, now I got to transition and I need the divider. Well, I can secure it over to the side, but then I got to move it. I want to, it's in the barn. There's that whole thing that you got to deal with. Well, in this instance here, on this setup, and I'll show you, I can unpin from the ceiling and the floor. I've done it on the front already. This is tipped towards passenger side. So as you can see, this divider is wanting to come towards me. But all I have to do is get in the middle and push, and I don't have to push very hard. And now I can actually push this divider against the wall over here on driver's side. And I can secure it into place. Again, it's wanting to fight me a little bit because it's going downhill. But then once I get to that point, I can secure this guy against the wall, and I have now made a box stall. So if I, again, want a box stall for a horse, or if I want to load a toy, unload a toy, need to haul some other items, I can do this, and I can do it by myself. I don't need to go find somebody to help me. Just a few seconds, slide it, get it out of the way, and it's completely secure against the wall. So again, talk about a lot of versatility and flexibility with this trailer. This is it. This concept right here actually came from our show cattle trailers. Because in that instance, we have these traveling gates, as we call them in there, that run across the trailer, and we slide them back and forth. A couple years ago, we said, hey, why not take that and turn it on its side, and we can slide this guy out of the way and incorporate it there. So we've really been trying to look and try to cross a lot of features and benefits as far as options on trailers. Where can we take something from the livestock side and apply it on the equine side? Where can we go the other way with it as well? So we've been putting a lot of that. You'll notice on a lot of our livestock trailers, these jail bar style airflows are coming into play over there because, again, we want to keep animals cool and comfortable, and again, we can incorporate some stuff. So that's a good rundown of what we got going on in here. A couple other little things. When we get over here to this side ramp, you do have a bar over that opening as well. And instead of this bar just kind of being fixed and it being long and same thing, I got to secure it kind of like a Dutch door or a head grill. We don't want to bump it. We don't want to kick it. We don't want a horse tripping over it. So this guy here is actually on a slider over here on this wall. And then we can actually set it, and so it's secure in that corner. So now we don't have to worry about us tripping over it or horse tripping over it. But a great feature right there. You notice all the kick mat all the way around. Rubber on the floor. Below that is going to be the industry's best floor. It's a 12-inch extruded deck that locks in high and low, tongue and groove. The most important part is 4-inch centers. Why 4-inch centers? That's how Cimarron builds it, with a V-truss in the middle of that 12-inch deck. Wherever you have a horse standing on this floor, they're standing on one, if not two, support beams. So that's where you don't get pits and waves and where urine can collect and corrode and. But, in these aluminum floors, you need to pull mats out, clean it, at least once a year, just depending on usage, maybe more. But assessing your floor, a little tip and trick is when you pull the mats, power wash it and let it dry, sprinkle baking soda down, put your mats back in. It'll counteract the acidity of the urine. So industry's best floor there. When we flip to the other side of the trailer, we have the insulated roof that is standard on every single Cimarron. You probably saw a bunch in the background as we've been walking around. We have big living quarters, trainer trailers, bumper pulls, goosenecks, we got it all. They all have the same roof. What's important about it, that is the strength. So it's a 1/2 inch thick honeycomb designed, R3 thermal value, gel coating on top. But I can walk on that roof. It'll take 150 pounds per square foot. It is really good against hail. So really hail resistant. It has to be big hail to do damage to these roofs. So aluminum roofs, you see hail dings all the time. These guys here, you know, can handle it a lot better. The other part of it, and the more important part in my opinion, is it keeps this stall area 20% cooler. So when we're traveling, you know, real hot summer months, one, you saw the windows. We're trying to create airflow divider, you know, trying to keep horses nice and comfortable. 20% cooler than aluminum sheeted roof. So the horses are gonna just, you know, handle the heat so much better and just be more comfortable as they're going to the show. There's a couple roof vents up towards the front. So again, we can open these guys up a little bit forward ahead of the actual horse's head and force that air down and out, or we can open it the other way. So there are 2 ways there. So LED lights, that's one last thing. LED lights on the inside. I showed you all those light switches. So you have the light switches to operate these guys in here on an individual. So we can turn on load light on the outside on either side rear, and then these interior lights. But same OptiBright light you saw in that front tack room. That is something that we have been continuously putting on our inventory pending availability. There for a time it was hard to get some products, but that OptiBright light was something we always wanted to put on our inventory. Cimarron made that a standard feature this year on the 26 models. All right, so as we get over here to driver's side, I'm gonna get this Dutch door out of the way, because again, I wanted you to see that bus window over here on driver's side. So as you can see, that is a big, massive window. A bus window, only half of it opens. So, you know, in that instance there, you look at that and you can go, wow, that's actually a big window. We can actually get quite a bit of airflow where, you know, some manufacturers on their kind of straight loads like this, they'll do a smaller window. I mean, I've seen some as small as, you look on the door there, they're putting that as, you know, a window over the hip or the back of the horse, and you're not going to get a lot of airflow in that instance back there. Let's maximize that size, you know, of window that we can get that airflow into it. We have a load light above this door going into it, 16-inch, and then you have this access door. So I can access the stall area. I don't necessarily have to go through the side ramp if I want. If I need to just sneak in, or as I'm loading, you know, I can dip underneath my chest bar, tie up horses. I can easily step out of this. You've got a chest bar over that, so it's secure. But then in this guy, yes, it has the bus window, a little bit smaller bus window, but that's because it's also inside of this drop-down feed door. So now look at all the airflow we can create here. This guy here, this jail bar, it's on a built-in track, so it's really easy to open and close if I need to, you know, access anything, offer some more feed, you know, without even stepping in the trailer. It can lock up as well, but then again, I can access the stall area from right there. Welded hinges with grease zerks are standard. You'll notice that on these, like tack door, this escape door, drop down feed door. So they're really easy to maintain since they have the grease zerks on them already. So you can do it yourself. If you get a stiff, you know, hinge or a squeaky hinge, you can just put grease to it. You'll notice a little brass kind of ring there in the middle. It's actually a rod that runs the full length. It's one piece and it's got a groove cut into it. So imagine like a candy cane swirl that's cut into it. So when you put grease in here and open and close this, or open and close this door, it actually feeds the grease throughout the hinge itself. So really easy to maintain as far as that's concerned when you're looking at this trailer. So again, what a cool setup. You can see why this guy's so popular. So again, we carry it in quite a few of these bumper pulls. We've got them in some, you know, goosenecks, the same type of setup, just a gooseneck setup. So really kind of compact trailer, smaller trailer. You know, you can tow with a half ton, you know, SUVs. Again, check your towing capacity on those tow vehicles, but really good, really unique setup here. Again, I'm going to show you the stock number for reference on this guy. Again, it's a 2026 Cimarron Norstar Warmblood 2-horse bumper pull with the side ramp. Stock number is 5N250325. We do take trade-ins, so if you're looking to upgrade or downsize, we can help you there. Delivery is an option, so you could potentially bring it to your doorstep, and financing is available. So give anybody on the sales team a call and they can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. Appreciate you tuning in. Have a good day.